Thank you, Wine.
Welcome to UnWine with me, Fifi.
Hello, everybody at UnWine with Fifi. Cheers.
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 Clink jonga kalok.
Clink, clink.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to UnWine with Fifi. So today I have a very special guest. She's very dear to my heart. She is my spirit twin.
Hello.
Yeah, and she's been a great mentor in my life. She's a big sister, a fellow OLAC graduate. Welcome everybody, and welcome Mpumi Nobiva.
Hello.
How are you?
Girl, I'm good.
You've been away, hey?
I've been away for a while. I actually just got back into the social space. It hasn't been easy. A lot of people know me for my story. They know that my mother died of AIDS. My father left when I was a child. I was raised by my grandmother, who's a domestic worker. I got second, third degree burns on my arm and foot when I was a child living in a shack. Yes, in Kupego, you know poverty. Then I was hit by a car and almost died when I was 6 years old, and it left me with the scar down my back. So I had all these insecurities, but I also had real traumas from the things that I've just mentioned. Yeah. And it all took a toll. It all took a toll. Late last year, I fell into a depression. I had a lot of depression. I had a lot of anxiety that I was feeling, and I didn't know how to process it. And luckily, I had people in my corner who were supportive, yourself included, who knew that I needed privacy. I needed to pull out of the social space because I needed to heal. And it was hard because I missed all my people. You know, I had built such a culture.
We missed you too.
Thank you. I had built such a culture.
Yeah.
You know, I'd had the privilege to build a culture. And now I'm back and I'm pushing to bring that essence, if not a better one, back into my life.
Well, that's great, man. I'm so glad that you took the time, and you know that I need to take time off.
Oh yeah.
I think a lot of people just fake it.
Yeah.
And just go on with life, and the walls come crumbling at some point.
Well, that's what's easy to do, right?
Yeah.
Until we have a physical breakdown.
Exactly.
Which is what I had an emotional and psychological breakdown, a mental breakdown, where everything in my world just crushed. And I wasn't pretending. I didn't know I was depressed. I didn't know I was sick.
I'm interested to know though, how did you know that, you know, it's time to seek out help right now?
It was very obvious because I wasn't myself, and people around me knew that I wasn't sounding like myself.
This channel is called UnWine. So can you tell everybody, what are we unwining to today? Yes,
today we are unwining to a Sauvignon Blanc. It's called Warwick 2019, the First Lady. Yes.
What's your favorite wine?
My favorite wine is a rosé called Hampton Waters that I've only drank in Canada and recently saw in the United States. I haven't seen it in South Africa.
Really?
It's called
So
Hampton
it's
Waters.
part of the new world because yeah, so the US and Canada and all of that in the wine world is called the new world. So Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, they call all the new world, and then Europe is the old world.
Oh, interesting. That's good to know. School us.
Yes, we must use that degree. We must use that degree. Mr. Brain trot me. So yeah, well, I think what I want to know, and what I think everybody else wants to know is, you know, now that you've gone through this journey with depression, and you took a journey back to yourself, and you're in a good space now. What did you learn? What are your biggest lessons?
Self-care is everything. Number one. Everything is your mentality. I have to wake up in the morning and make a decision that this is going to be a great day. I have to push past my own mental boundaries, my own mental anxieties about life, about where things are. Am I going to make it? My new goals for this year, will they materialize? All those doubts that can slowly creep into a day, I have to face. And I find that I don't have as much difficulty when I take care of myself. I wake up and the first thing I do is pray. Mom Oprah taught us to say thank you. The first thing she does. Can you imagine Oprah Winfrey, such a powerful woman, and the first thing she does is wake up and say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, God, for another day, another chance. So when I do that, I copy it. I learn from the best. And I say thank you.
I do that too.
And I say a prayer, and then I meditate. I use Louis Hay from the Hay House Foundation. I do like a guided meditation, because sometimes I find that when I do a quiet TM meditation, my mind still has a lot of clutter. But if it's guided, then I have something to follow. I do a guided meditation, and I wake up and I go and run. I do a run and a jog depending on where my body is. I want to be fitter, but I'm not necessarily doing it for any body size or certain scale number. I do it because I know when I feel like, oh, I'm feeling good about myself, this is good. And it was just December Ekaya, so you know what that means. It means we piled on. See, I'm
7 colors every day,
day in, day out. Are my boobs misbehaving?
Okay. They look great, girl.
Thank you. Yeah. So
no, but that's great. I'm so happy that you found a routine almost. Because,
it is.
I mean, we all know, every successful person has a routine, and I myself have only just started to say, okay, let me start jogging, because the jeans are catching up with me, and girl is putting on some weight. So I've started also. I do the meditation early on in the morning, and then I go for my jog and get ready for work. And it's shown me the past few weeks that it does something to the way your day goes.
It's a miracle worker.
Having that intention to say, this is how I plan on my day going.
I call it's channeling. It's getting to a place where your mentality is awakened and you're channeling and you're living from a place of awareness. Because when you exercise, you open your chest, your lungs are getting oxygen, your body's waking up. When you meditate, you quiet the mind, you set an intention, you get focused. You need all of that to face a day where so many different things are going to come from so many different places. Knowing that my intention is to grow. I don't know about anyone else, but I want to grow. I want every day to be a day where I can say, I grew past, or today I learned, or today I stopped, right? Because there are also habits. There's also the case of breaking habits, whether that's thinking patterns or certain like behavioral tendencies. And sometimes you take 2 steps forward and then 1 step back. Sometimes it's 3 forward and then 2 back. It's just the cycle of life. And the other thing I've learned with mental health is it's so important to exercise self-compassion, to be kind to myself, to be gentle with myself, to be easy with myself. Because everything I've just mentioned to you, there are some days where just doing that can feel so difficult. And I have to be patient. Instead of just rushing myself into it, I'll journal it, maybe journal in the morning, hack it, express my emotions, or call a family member, or sit and cry. Maybe I just need to sit and cry something out that I don't even know I'm carrying, or something that I'm struggling with that I didn't even know is affecting me, so. And then sometimes in the evenings you come home and have a glass of wine and unwind with Fifi.
It's so necessary sometimes. So with everything else and what you personally learned, what is your message to the young girl who's watching you have a lot of fans, a lot of people who look up to you, who've grown with you throughout.
I just have to find them now because I lost them when I canceled.
Come back.
Please come back.
Come back. Please.
I miss you.
Come back. No, what is your message?
My message is come alive. This is the year of many. This is not even Happy New Year. We're saying Happy New Decade.
Hello.
Okay. Hello. Goodbye to trauma. Goodbye to self-bondage. Goodbye to chains that hold us back. Goodbye to self-limitation, self-doubt. Goodbye to competition.
Hey,
come on. Who are you competing with when it should just be you yourself? So my message is to do you. This is the year of plenty. This is the year. I like to say to people, happy 20 plenty. Okay? Ooh. Happy 20 plenty. This is the year of abundance. This is the decade of abundance. Be easy on yourself. Grow easy. Take your time. It's okay. Things will be fine. That's what I had to learn, is relax. Be on your stuff. Be diligent, be focused, have a plan, have a vision board, meditate, take care of yourself. Don't take chances when it comes to you, but relax, learn to breathe, create. That's what I love about what I'm working on now with music. Music has always been such a big part of my life, and I know for some people it feels like such a drastic change. Was like, where's that even coming from?
You've always been an artistic person.
But I've always been artistic. At the academy, I was visual and I was in visual arts, visual and performance arts. I wish I did performance arts as a major, because we did arts installations and all of that.
No, I did.
But
I
you
did
drama, which was more performance. But I've always been an expressive person, and the past years of my life, when I was traveling the United States, speaking, sharing my story, I was expressive on the surface, but I wasn't expressive from a real place of emotion and creating from a real place. I'm a person who has a lot to say.
Yes.
I'm loud. I'm an extrovert, and I have a lot to express. And music gives me that avenue, and it intimidates me. It scares me. Sometimes I don't know if I'm coming or going. Sometimes I don't know if it's making sense.
But you're doing so well.
Thank you. It makes me feel
I'm loving it. Like, and I think you know, and I said this to you recently, that the sound itself, it's obviously rooted in hip hop, because that's what you grew up listening to.
I grew up listening to hip hop,
you know. But for somebody like myself, who's just like, no, I'm not listening to hip hop. The message is what resonates.
It resonates, yeah.
And therefore, I will go and purchase your music because
Thank
of
you.
what it, the message.
Yeah, my first single is called Set Free. It's done. We're waiting to publish it. I'm having a bit of a hard time because I'm an independent artist and I'm learning the industry in South Africa, and it's not an easy one. But it's about my father. It's about the loneliness of not having a father. It's about the loneliness of not knowing your full worth as a woman and looking for it in men and other places that are just not the place to go, because everything you need should be inside of yourself. And I think that's why it resonates. I'm working on a second single called Daughters of Change that I'm really inspired by, because my breakdown, my depression was actually triggered by UnWining's death. When she was killed, I really started falling into a cycle, because my own cousin was killed in 2010. She was 9 years old. Rest her heart. Her name was Banele Kumalo from my grandfather's side, and I never got to grieve that. And there's a lot coming from trauma. It's like you carry this little bag, and every time something happens, you just take things and put them in the bag. You put them in the bag, you put them in the bag, you put them in the bag, and you put the bag away, and you put the bag away. Except you're carrying the bag. You're carrying the bag.
And it gets heavier,
and it gets heavier and heavier, and things get slower. And so, you know what I mean? So I had to deal, and music is helping me break my barriers down. It's helping me connect to myself and my body as a woman. Some of my songs are a little sexy. I'm not gonna lie.
Hello, you are sexy.
I'm sexy like
You're
that.
27 and
I'm
sexy.
27 and I'm sexy and I'm feeling good.
Yes, hunty, clink to that.
Clink, clink. Thank you.
No, this is great, man.
Thank you.
So I think a lot of people who knew you before you left the socials, you were this international speaker, you were a lot of firsts, you're the first graduate from the academy to sit on the board, you've done all these great things, and I think a lot of people, when they saw you, and a lot of people have said this, they see the president. And we both went to a leadership academy. What is leadership, or the new face of leadership in Africa, in the world? What does that look like? Because as you know, the majority population in Africa is very young. The average age is 19 years old.
And we're female. And Africa is female. Over 60% of us
are female. So what is the new face of leadership?
I think it's boldness. I mean, look at Miss Universe. Look at who runs the world right now. Look at her skin color. Look at her hair. Look at her posture, her pizzazz.
Yes.
I think we're bold. I think we're smart. We're self-actualized. We're daring. What I'm attempting to do in my leadership is not to neglect all the things you've mentioned. It's actually to take those things and channel them into something that actually also heals me in the process. So that I'm not doing that for the world as much as I did in the past. I'm doing it for me. And so I think Africa is at a stage now where healing is becoming prioritized, and facing up to trauma is also becoming prioritized. And when you do that, you're naturally going to identify ways that bring you closer to yourself. The question is, do you have the courage to step up and do that? Because that's where the money is.
Are you courageous, guys?
Do you have the courage?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, this is great.
Thank you.
This has been a great catch up.
Yeah. Anytime, baby. Everywhere there's wine, I'm there.
Well, you know me, I'm stocked up.
I love
Kidding,
it.
I'm not. Please don't come to my house asking for wine.
She's lying, she is.
You're welcome. You're all my children. You're welcome. But this has been really, really great. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
And yeah, here's to 20 plenty.
20 plenty, double abundance, smashing them all.
Yes,
That's what we're doing, baby. Cheers.